One of my favorite things to do is read a famous author's work, like their most famous work, and then read something like that's almost undercover, kind of like listening to a really famous artist's songs or whatever, and then you find like their underground, really good hit music that like not everybody knows, that's like not mainstream at all. So full transparency, I have not read Fahrenheit 451. I bought it probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was just like, I don't know if I can read a book about destroying books. Like, the thought of it actually just really makes me nauseous. But I was in a discount thrift bookstore a couple weeks ago, and I found this book, which is The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. And I was like, he wrote this book, and everyone says it was good. Let me just buy this one. I am halfway through The Illustrated Man, and I can just honestly say, this book is really amazing. Like, I'm going to have to read Fahrenheit 451 because of this book. Like, it is stellar. In it, we find this man who's like the illustrated man. So it's like a man who has these tattoos that are like storytelling. So they're actually just illustrations. And it has caused a lot of chaos and a lot of heartache in his life because he can't keep a job. Due to people who stare at him, they start seeing like the end of like their life and how they'll die, and just weird stuff like that. And so it's incredibly interesting. The back says, in these 18 startling tales, because each like chapter is a different story, unfolding across a canvas of tattooed skin, living cities take their vengeance. Technology awakens the most primal natural instincts, and dreams are carried aloft in junkyard rockets. That's a perfect way to describe this book. It's like magical and just odd and peculiar. It is so good, and each story kind of goes into the next one. And so if one ends with like a rocket, the next one begins with a rocket. One ends in rain, the next one begins in like a flood. It's just so weird. It's like literally reading a 10-minute Twilight Zone episode. It's so amazing, magical, and I would definitely, honestly, give this one a read. I'd also like to mention that I'm only halfway through this book, and so I just have 100 pages left to go, and I'm about to give you an update once I'm done.